Hello, Full Circle Chat listeners. Before we dive into today's conversation, we would like to take a moment to thank our sponsor, the Full Circle Chat store. If you are looking to elevate your wardrobe or find the perfect gift, we offer a curated collection of premium items designed with you in mind. From cozy hoodies and stylish tote bags to sleek mugs and unique accessories, there is something for everyone. Explore our exclusive range of men's and women's apparel, all crafted for quality and comfort. Visit fullcirclechatshop.com today to shop. Support the podcast, of course, and discover your next favorite piece. Now let's get into the episode. Our guest today is a remarkable educator and leader whose resilience and dedication to the growth of young people inspire everyone around her. As a high school counselor, Cara devotes her expertise to guiding students, fostering personal development, and nurturing leadership in the next generation. With a deep passion for service and unwavering commitment to positively impacting lives, she exemplifies how empathy, vision, and dedication can transform communities and create meaningful experiences that extend far beyond the classroom. Please welcome Cara Craggett to the Full Circle Chat podcast. How you doing today?
I'm great. I'm excited.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm excited to have you. I'm like, I know the last time we had a conversation, our first conversation on the phone, we talked for over an hour.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yes. I knew like there was a reason why I wanted to have you on here. And we can jump right in.
Let's do it.
And if you could just kind of share with us your journey into education and what really inspired you to become a high school counselor, and just kind of walk us through it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up, my degree is actually in music.
Okay.
I grew up playing music and loved it, and so I majored in it. But I don't know why. But here I am.
Yeah.
And I love it. But I started like my own piano studio, and I quickly realized I wanted bigger impact than that. So I became an educator in classroom and taught middle school choir. And daily, I was just having conversations with my students that needed to work through something or talk through something. Because it's really standard for like, when you're creating music, you're creating something so much bigger than yourself. And kids kind of come out of their shell in certain ways and need someone to talk to, and as they're just navigating life. And so I started to be the person they were talking to, and realized I wanted to extend my education to be like really qualified to know how to help them navigate some of the, I don't know, just like identity work kids are doing in middle school, high school. So yeah, so then I moved into high school counseling, and I love it.
Identity work. So can you kind of walk us through that? What do you see that's most common when you say identity work?
It's just, when I was a kid, when I was in middle school, when I was in high school, you're really learning how to be a human in this world. You're learning what it means to be human, and then not just like what is the stereotypical human, but who am I? Like what makes me feel most alive? What makes me feel most connected? And it's so unique to each person, but we typically just, I mean, as kids, I think it's really standard that you just kind of copy paste what you see happening. And there's just a lot of exploration that has to happen in order to learn who you are as a person. Try things, they don't work. Try things, they don't work. I mean, to the extent of like, do I like my nails painted? Do I like my hair long? You know, like whatever the case. And our society has kind of even expanded that to like gender and everything like that. That's just all lumped into identity work of these kids figuring out like, who am I, and what is my gift to the universe? What was I created to bring to the universe? What is the universe bringing to me? How do I fit into all of this? It's big stuff. I think adults are figuring it out too, you know?
You just took the words right out of my mouth. I just said, even till now, I still ask myself, who am I?
Yeah.
Right? Because, you're born, you're given a name.
Yeah.
Right? You're given that, and then your whole life, it's Christian Cara. You just kind of just respond to that.
Yeah.
But when I think about identity, for me, it's just, really, do I like myself when I'm by myself?
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. And for like a high school kid, middle school kid to try and really figure that out, that it sounds difficult. So for you to be in that world as a leader, I know you have to navigate a lot of complexities.
Yeah.
So like for you, how do you deal with that, right? Because you're still on your own personal journey, and then you're helping these kids.
Well, I think like one of the huge challenges of a child doing identity work is that they also have to fit, not, I'm careful to say into the mold that they're given, but they are under someone's roof. There is a level of respect they have to give to their caregivers, you know, and so there's like that dynamic as well. So I think it's like, I know when my soul, my body, everything feels at peace. I know what that feels like. And trying to teach kids what that feels like, how to identify like when my body is signaling that something is off and I'm trusting it, you know? So I think that's probably like the most clear, direct way that it can happen. But
Yeah,
like identity.
I get that. So you're basically trying to teach them to, when they feel that dissonance, right, to not ignore it.
Yeah.
Because we're taught to ignore it.
We are 100% taught to
Right?
ignore it. And it's interesting you say that because I feel that way as a woman, that like our needs and desires come after everyone else's. Like first off, you need to check in on, you know, how are these people feeling? How are these people's, like your job is to serve, to help. That's kind of the like construct we've grown up in.
Yeah.
And so it's like also interesting hearing you say that, but I agree. And I think I think there's a world where like yoga or something like that is so important. And like oftentimes like Christianity, I'm a Christian, so I'm not bashing that religion, but there's like in Christianity, they can kind of navigate you towards don't do yoga, don't listen to your body in that way, don't be so attuned to it in that way. And I think it's like I have to. If something is off, my body is the first thing that's going to tell me, you know?
That's scary.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's scary. And then to me, that's just, you're telling that person to disconnect from the only thing that could really signal,
yeah,
you know, them outside of their soul. It's just, I trust my internal compass over
yes,
anything and anyone else.
absolutely.
I don't care, even my own kids.
Yeah.
And that's just me being 100% honest, because I wasn't always this way. I grew up, I'm the oldest of 5.
Okay.
And I was the protector, the teacher. So I always came second. And everything else and everyone else came first. So I developed this people-pleasing approach to life to make sure that everyone else around me was okay before me. But if you think about it logically, it's impossible, right, to know if anyone outside of Christian is okay.
Right.
So like right now I'm in this phase of my life to where people might call it selfish, but it's me first. I have to make sure that I'm okay. If I'm good, then I can show up whole for everyone else.
Do you know, that makes me think of, do you know the book, The Giving Tree?
I've heard of it, but I haven't read it.
Okay. And the whole idea is like it's this tree that's trying to like help everybody else. And so he's just like, the tree is, and he in the story is cutting off branches and cutting off pieces of himself till there's nothing left. And the mindset of the book is that that's good. And my sister, and growing up, that was just like, I think it's this idea of sacrifice, you know, that like that's such a beautiful thing to do, to sacrifice. And my sister like kind of went on a rant about like she's removed that book from their home. She's like, this is not okay, because she's like, as a parent, yes, it would just be so natural to give everything away and I have nothing left. But like, if I am taking care of myself first and foremost, then like, you know, that I'm not pouring from an empty cup, like very common phrase, but it's valid. And I think like, I agree with you 100%. Like you have to be, call it selfish if you will, but like you have to like I have to look out for myself above everything else, and I
right.
will. Like,
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah, and like it's not something that you just kind of that happens. For me, it's a lifelong thing, and just having. I think awareness is a superpower. I say this all the time. Once you have awareness around something, you've already won.
Yeah, I love that.
You don't even have to do it. Like if you know that, and I didn't want to say that, but you said it. But you have awareness that's enough to know. Okay, next time, I'll just say no. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Right, and it's because there's so much noise around us, and the constructs. You talk about the constructs where me being Nigerian American, growing up. Cara, the constructs they're heavy, and just try to navigate the complexities of that. And when I think about like high school kids, what would you say, from your perspective, is something that you see that's consistent that they struggle with the most?
I mean, just the age-old wanting to be liked, like wanting to be accepted, and feeling like you have to earn that. I don't know if that is taught, if society teaches that, or why it is, but it seems pretty universal that people have to work through the feeling of like, I don't have to earn acceptance. I don't have to earn love. And maybe it starts with like a deep love for yourself, and that's what corrects it. I don't actually know if that's what corrects it or not. But yeah, I think just like this need to be accepted. And it's across the board. Like the popular kids, the geeky kids, like you name it, everybody just wants to fit in.
And when you say universal, I agree with that. Because if you look at society today, even like with social media and stuff like that, it's just like we're all divine beings.
Yeah.
Why would you? I don't want to be like anybody else. To me, so I think logic, right? It has to logically make sense to me. If God made Cara and made Christian, we know we're two divine whole beings. We lack nothing.
Right.
Like this world tries to tell you have to go get to make you whole. No, you lack nothing. Why would I ever want to be like Cara?
Right.
I'm uniquely created. But we live in a world that everything's just like, oh, let me be like this person. It's impossible.
Yeah.
And all you're doing in those moments is creating dissonance for you, for yourself, and then you just kind of ripping parts of you apart, right? And it's just like I have to slow down a lot because I get hard. I'm hard on myself, just because like my kids, I'm trying to teach them something different,
Right.
Because I don't want the same copycat generation to generation to know. So I teach them to be free. I said, question everything and everyone, including your mom and I.
Yeah.
Right? Because if it doesn't make sense for you, why would you just don't agree just because I said so? Ask why. What's the source? Because if you ask enough questions, a lot of these things that people buy into are illusions. They're not real.
Yeah.
Smoke screens.
And that's what I'm saying about like identity work, right? Like that these kids, and that's another great way to put it, is asking questions. But I think that everyone is born into some sort of framework where they have to follow certain rules and certain societal norms and everything like that. And then whatever their, like economic status is plays into it and all of that. And that's molding human beings into who they're supposed to be. But that's not the important stuff. Like the important stuff is what makes me feel alive. Like what gets me up in the morning. It's not like, I mean, maybe a job gets you up in the morning and that's great. But like, why does the job get you up in the morning? And so I think that's the work kids are doing. But it starts at a smaller level. It starts at like, do I like to eat with friends at lunch? Do I like to have a small group? Do I like to have a big group? Like it starts in totally different ways.
Yeah. I like that. But like it's hard for me to see a high school kid asking these questions. So I think you're doing God's work in that role because if they're
some days I'm like, why did I choose this God's work?
Right? It's just to have a kid at that age start asking these questions.
Yeah.
Like you're infusing something different.
Yeah. Well, it's like you do with your kids. Like you don't want just to like them come to me to talk about something and just be like, all right, well, here are the answers. Like I want them to think about what didn't feel right about that situation? Why did it not feel right? What would have felt better? Like, you know, like start navigating that from like the awareness they have in their own body.
Yeah.
And
Oof, yes.
if they can learn that now, like that'll be amazing.
That's it. You just said it, that awareness inside their own bodies. Yeah. And that goes a long way but how do you teach somebody that?
That's what I'm saying. I think it's just the simple questions, like what you do with your kids, like question everything.
Yeah.
Why did that feel good? Why did that feel bad? Why did you hesitate? Why did you jump in? You know, like.
You know what? It always drills down to what everyone is going to think and say.
Absolutely.
Doesn't it?
Because it's that feeling of like everyone wants to be accepted.
But nobody's really thinking about you. Like if you think
about it. No one is thinking about you.
Nobody's worried about you. But like try to convince these kids of that. Yeah. That's tough. So let me ask you this. Like let's say someone aspires to be a counselor. Mm-hmm. What advice would you give them?
I don't
Take
know.
Your time.
Let me. If someone wants to be a counselor, what advice would I give them? I think it matters why they want to be a counselor. If someone is wanting to be a counselor to help people navigate, like I'm talking about, like the big challenges every human faces on some scale. Like it's all identity work, right? Like at whatever the scale is, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's individual, whatever, it's all identity work. And I think it matters why you want to help people do that. Is it because like I have figured things out and let me share with you the path forward? I think a lot of counselors might feel that way. But no, I like if you want to be a counselor, then be so determined to help kids or help adults or whoever you choose. But for me, it's kids and like those really moldable years of like high school, middle school to like why I'm not saying this well, but like the identity work that they are doing, helping them through it and helping them determine who they are. Like at the end of the day, it is your job as a counselor. Here's what I'm trying to say. At the end of the day, it is your job as a counselor to help them become the best version of themselves. I hesitate to use that phrase, but to help them like really figure out who they are.
No, you said it right. Everything you said was on point. Do you want me to tell you what I got from it?
Yeah, because all I got was blip, blip, blip.
No, you want to help that kid to be free.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, translator.
No, because that's literally my life journey.
Yeah.
Because I've experienced freedom and liberation at a level that I wish people could just feel. Yes. In the sense of, like, remember, it's a lifelong journey.
Right.
So I still kind of like default back to old programming and things of that nature, but have an awareness that I'm doing that.
Okay, yeah.
That's the superpower. And I want everybody to experience freedom.
Yeah.
Like when you think about constructs like shame, embarrassment, all these things that people are really like nervous, it's all an illusion. And you need a crowd for it to have any power. And once that crowd dissipates, there's nothing. So if you like ask enough questions and drill down enough, you realize those things that you're carrying on are really just smoke screens. So like I want people to just experience liberation and freedom. And that's what you're doing for kids in high school. And that's impactful.
I hope so.
Can you recall a moment or maybe a situation or maybe a student that you follow their journey and you can see just the growth that happened through your leadership? And you don't have to like name names or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I won't name names, but there is a girl who I met her in middle school and she was like the very like stereotypical just kind of closed off, nervous, recluse kind of personality. But there was so much more there. Like I just knew there's like, this girl is magic. I just know it. And so we started just talking and it started like really simple with like, what do you do when no one's around? Like, what do you do when like you wake up in the morning? Like, what's your morning routine? What's your, like if you had a whole free day, how would you spend it? And, just like really simple questions of what like makes you feel alive. If you go on a vacation, how do you want to spend that vacation? Are you wanting to be with people? Are you wanting not to? And anyway, so that's how the journey started. And I slowly, like over the course, so she was ninth grade and now she's a senior. And I slowly like have seen over the years, I guess like walls come down, but I don't even want to say like her come out of her shell, because I think in doing that, it almost like diminishes what really happened. I just feel like it's not like the shell just came off and here she is. There's just that like so many branches have been formed of her, of like who she is, and like this gorgeous human being who is vibrant and interesting and fun and like so, yes, still so quiet and still so quirky and unique, but like that's her, and she's slowly starting to own that because she trusts it, you know, because she had the permission for that to be good enough, and like she's a remarkable person.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it's just a matter of someone like believing in you, like saying like, you as you are is good enough. And it's not just good enough, like it's exceptional.
You're speaking life into people. So I'll tell you from my perspective, right? I'm very intentional about that, like speaking life into people. But what I've come across is some people are not willing to look at that mirror or allow, they think it's a facade.
Right.
They don't believe it's real.
Yeah.
And they'll reject it energetically. They'll make you the villain, right?
Yeah.
And in this season of my life, I've learned to kind of like not pause, but like slow down with that and kind of read the room, right? Because you might think, let's say you're married or something, and you think everything you're saying, your partner is actually listening. I'll tell you from experience, that's not the case, right? And it's just not a judgment thing, because I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
I'm flawed, just like everyone else. But it's just, I've learned to take a step back and allow that whomever that person may be to energetically show me, like, how do you feel about yourself?
Yeah.
Right before I start spewing Christians free,
right,
Christians liberated. Like, nobody wants to hear that.
Right.
Especially if they're not.
And they can't hear it.
They're not never. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have the capacity to. Right. So, and like for you, what would you say? Or would you pick a time that you became this version of Cara, or have you always been this way?
I've always been committed to doing the work to be fully myself. That has been, I don't know if it's
That's
just
beautiful.
in me or if it was modeled. My mom is that way, so I would say that like I watched her like one person as I was a child, like very young, and I watched her grow into who she is now, and I like what a beautiful like role model to see that happen. But in 2023, I lost my partner, very, very tragically to gun violence. And it was very sudden and obviously is like a life-changing, life-altering grief and journey for me. And I knew it that, like, his name was Saeed. And I knew when he died, instantly, I knew. The only thing worse than his death is if it also destroys my life and the people he loves and the people I love, because we allow like complete bitterness to take over from what happened. So I had to really like, and I still do, have to really, really lean into knowing myself and deeply loving who I am now. And like the reality is, Christian, like I changed. I am not the same person. Like there's threads of me that are woven like the whole way through. But I remember like a week after he died, I was with some friends and I was talking about like, I really, really loved, I remember telling one of my good friends, I really, really loved who I was. And I don't recognize this person I am right now. And I'm so terrified of who I'm going to become because like I really knew myself and I really loved myself. And she said, I want you to know, whoever you become, I trust you. And you are going to continue being beautiful. And it gave me like that freedom that I want to give kids, that like I get to trust myself on this journey. I get to trust that I am walking through an impossible thing of my whole life just blowing up and losing my partner, and I am going to like just fall in love with myself more because I'm going to still be a wonderful, beautiful person and like contribute to this universe in beautiful ways. And so that, I mean, yeah, that was a big shift, but that was probably like the moment where I just had to like fully lean into doing the work of like being committed to loving myself when like I suddenly didn't even recognize myself.
Yeah. And I'll tell you this, and I'm sorry for your loss,
Yeah,
because
thank you.
that's tough. But I'll tell you, you won't even believe this. I think I just really started the journey to really fully love myself. Something that you've experienced. And I know you love the version of yourself when you were with him, you loved who that person, and that speaks volumes about who he is.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you can make someone outside of yourself feel whole like that, that is, I want everybody to have that.
Yeah.
But if you're in a relationship and you can't fully be yourself or fully love yourself, and you're like ripping yourself apart to give to this person, it's never going to last.
No. And yeah, oh no, he was an amazing person. But I think I went into that relationship loving myself. You know, I was already in my 30s when we started dating, and not that like that seals the deal that you're going to love yourself. Like, you know, it's just, but I knew myself very well. And I had, like I said, I'd already been committed to like doing the work, going to therapy, like making sure that I knew who I was as a human being. And so there wasn't really, you know, when I started to date him, I wasn't going to give up who I was. Either like he adds value to my life or he doesn't. Like those are the only two options. And he did. He added immense value. And so when he passed, it was obviously so tragic, and I grieve him and love him still. Like I'll always, you know, that will always be like a part of my story. And it's just not just like, you know, I conquered grief, you know, like it's like, I'm like, well, you know, the journey is going to ebb and flow. I'm like in a really good and healthy place now, but it like I hit rock bottom, and I had to ask myself, like, who am I becoming out of this? And you said, like, you know, that you love yourself, and how like that you do. And I think that's so special. And I think the best way I can describe it is, I don't have kids, but I'm an aunt, and I would move heaven and earth for those kids. And that's like the best way I can describe how I feel about myself. Like, it's not just like, I've always been like Team Cara, you know, but like there's like, I like adore myself in a way that's just like how I feel.
I'm looking at a mirror.
Yeah.
Like looking at you and me like, you remind me so much of myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
cut
you're
you
good.
off.
But that's, I mean, that's just like, when I try to describe it, it's like the only thing I can think to describe is, since I don't have kids, it's like, it's how I feel about my nieces and nephews. Like there is nothing I would not do to protect this person. And like, not just protect, but I think protect also means like let this person shine and be myself fully, you know? Not just guard.
You're rare. So like, I could tell you this. My kids are the only 3 people in this, outside of me, that love me unconditionally. everyone has conditions. Everyone else has conditions. Because kids are free spirits.
Yeah.
They're energetic beings. And that's, I do my best to try to navigate the complexities of this world from that perspective and lens. So for me, it's just operated independently in a systematically dependent world because I know myself. I know what I want. And something you said that really resonates heavily is you will continue to do the work to continue to love yourself. Like I'm about to go on that journey to find things that make me feel alive. Like I'm attracting, like having you on, I know I'm attracting people just by being.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and that's the thing, you have to pay attention and trust that.
Yeah.
That make you feel whole. You you don't feel judged.
Yeah.
They're not trying to like control you. All this energetic push and pull, dude, like there's not a competition. We all want the same thing. It's just to have a beautiful human experience. And you carry it with so much grace. And what's your secret, Cara?
All right, step one. I wish it was that easy.
Right?
No, it's just that, like, I mean, you said you're about to go on this journey, like, to find what makes you feel alive and all of that. And that brings it exactly back to what I was saying with, like, the high schoolers. But it starts, like, you're going to do it in a much more complex way of, like, attracting people that, like, make you feel alive and all of that. And experiences, like, for these kids that I work with, it's like, did you like sitting by yourself? Did you like sitting with friends? Did you, it's like, what about that moment? Did you like it when you played basketball? Did you not? Like, who are you first off? And then let's grow that and start to do it on a more energy level, because I don't think a kid is going to learn that, but like it grows from there. And so then by the time you're, developing as a human into adulthood, you can start to really know yourself and ask yourself, like, the questions you're saying, like, what makes me feel alive? What am I attracting? Like, and that's
I can add to that though. That might be the strategy for the kids, but as an adult, I think it's the same thing. Like, what do I feel like when I sit next to Cara?
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like, what do I feel like when I sit by myself?
Yeah.
Like, if I feel uncomfortable, I need to listen to that and move.
Yeah.
Like,
just like a small thing was, I started pushing my alarm clock back to the very last second. I have 2 dogs, so I would get up, walk them quickly, and then like hurry, get ready for work and start work. And I realized like after like a few, I was like, because I want to sleep and that feels what I really want. But I realized like once I started actually assessing, is that what I really want? Or is that just me thinking I really want it? Let me try other things. Let me try 30 minutes earlier so I have a slower morning. I don't have to rush. And as I was doing it, then I was like, oh, wait, this is actually really wonderful. I love it. And so now, I've pushed it back further and further. So like it's a good hour before I'd have to get up so that I can have like some quiet time in my morning to just like sit and be still. But it's exactly like you're saying, like the same principles work for adulthood.
I agree 1,000%. And I love what you're saying because that ties to time. I'm not a fan of, you might think this is weird, but I love when people call me weird. So I'll go to the store. Let's say I go to Target and I'll grab something, right? And I'll just stand in the middle of the aisle and I'll just look down. And I'll just stand there for like 4 minutes.
Okay.
And I'll look up and then you just see people like, phew, 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 everybody just walking. Like they're in a rush to get somewhere. And all I want to do is just pause.
Okay.
And moments like that make me think like people are just walking around and something is telling them that they need to be in a rush to get to the next thing.
Yeah.
Like there's somewhere to get. And I never understood that concept. So like I've been, like my previous role, I was an account executive, doing all the whole shebang, but I didn't like time constriction. I wasn't a fan of that. And I would get up early, but I still felt this, this weird being on someone else's time. I'm just not a fan.
I spent a lot of time, I think it's just because I think it's an American society. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time in Mexico. I have some really good friends that live in Querétaro, Mexico.
Very cool.
And my favorite thing about it is how relational the culture is. It's not like, because the most important thing is not like what time does your dentist appointment start that you should be leaving for. It's who is the person sitting right across from me. That is the most important thing. And so there's been so many times when I'll just be like talking and be like, you know, when I'm in Mexico and like, oh, we got to wrap up. Don't you have to leave? And like, we'll be late. No big deal. You know, and it's that of like, this is the only thing that matters right now.
But it is. You just, I just got goosebumps. You know, it is because so you think about life, they think past, present, future, but it's all happening at the same time.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't matter if you're in Mexico, Germany, it's all at the same time. So this right here is the most important thing in my existence because it's the only thing that matters.
Absolutely.
Because it's where I'm at.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not in the rush to get anywhere because there's nowhere to get to.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, but people, like, I don't know why. Well, you say it's just society.
Yeah.
You know, just like, oh, let me do this. I have to get to this. I have to get to that. But like, being late to me is it's a construct. Like, just I'm dissolving that constriction of time slowly but surely.
I think that's so complicated because I agree with you. And also, if I show up hours late to work, I'm going to get fired. You know? And so, like, it's really, like, that tension is really hard of, like, we do live in a society where we have to respect time. And I also want to respect other people's time.
That's right.
But I think that there has to be a balance of, like, I'm not going to, like, schedule out my day so rigid that there's no room to breathe.
Yeah,
like,
it's like a badge of honor these days.
Yes.
Yeah, you see people brag about, oh, I have back-to-back meetings. That's not cool.
Yeah.
Like what you're saying, giving yourself that 30 minutes, an hour before you start your day is a beautiful thing because now you're not stressed or jumping right from this to that. But it's marketed heavily. Like it's something cool to have back-to-back meetings. That's not.
No.
I don't want that type of constraint. And then people start to equate that to success.
Right.
And it's all an illusion.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even know what they're doing in those meetings.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's just, oh my God. You guys just pause, and that's why I tell my kids, ask questions. Because people just take anything.
Yeah. Well, it's like the awareness you're talking about. Like, you cannot possibly be focused on being aware and awareness and all of that if you are go. Like, you don't even have time to think.
Exactly. And at some point, there's always, from my perspective, you're going to come to a point where you're going to crash. It always happens to everybody. Or you have to pivot and find something. Like me, I'm in this season of pivoting, leaving the corporate environment.
It's huge.
And yeah, man, the last 12, 13 years of my professional career, I've been in corporate.
Yeah, that's big.
And I'm like, and the thing is, like, the people, and I've evolved so much. I do the work like you, and you see these people, and, you know, if you think of corporate, it's a game. And even if you're achieving the same successes these people are, but if you're not playing the game, if you're not a robot, you're going to get isolated for sure. Like, that's what I've experienced at least. Because why do you think you're better than that?
Right.
Why you're not playing the game we're playing?
Right.
That's what I've seen.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if
it's gonna get, the chains are gonna come off when you left. It's gonna be like, oh, take the shackles off. Yeah, because like if you've been in that for 12 years and then suddenly, oh, you're gonna feel so free.
Listen, it was, so like the first week, like, I love taking my kids to school and picking them up.
That's
just
amazing.
because it's if I'm not traveling, I'll take them. I'll pick them up because I get to connect with them, talk to them. They ask me questions. I love to see their beautiful faces.
Yeah.
But the first week, you know, I took them to school. I'll hit the gym, and I still have to take calls and stuff. Like the podcast, I'll be at the gym till like noon, and I'll take calls, and it would be like 2, 3 o'clock. And I'll just kind of like pause. 'Cause I don't take naps. I don't do that. Like, because I used to be always on the go, and then I would just pause. And then I learned that it's okay to do nothing. This is a new revelation for me.
That's hard. I'm not good at that.
See, the thing is, the word you just used, that's what the construct tells you that you shouldn't. If you're laying down for like 45 minutes, something's wrong. You should be busy.
Right.
No. I don't believe that. I'm not saying no for the masses or you. For me, if you want to lay down and do nothing, that's nothing wrong with that. Like, but that's not the world that we live in.
No.
So that, like, I'll just lay down for like an hour. Like, I'm antsy too because I'm not used to that. But then I did it for a week, and then my brain defaulted to this position. There's nothing wrong, right? But I'm still battling old constructs.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be doing this.
Yeah,
Why
and
are
I
you not
think
doing
for me,
that?
it's like I am not good at it. Well, okay, it'll be either one or the other. I might like have all this free time, and then I just like doom scroll on Instagram or watch TV for hours, which there's nothing wrong with.
Nope.
But sometimes it does more damage than good. You know, if it's not doing good for my life, then there is something wrong with it.
How's it doing damage?
I think just for me
Yeah.
personally, and I think everyone's so unique. First off, if I'm just like scrolling on Instagram for hours, I quickly fall into like the mindset of comparison. You know, so that I've had to learn for myself just isn't a healthy pastime.
Okay.
But and I love Instagram, so that's a hard one. And then for TV, like it's just that like when I sit there for hours and hours and just watch a show, I don't know if I could tell you how it's not good. I just know it doesn't feel good.
Can I tell you what I think?
You can, but I already know what you're going to say.
Yeah, it's
and I
because you've
disagree.
bought into a construct that's been instilled. So, like Instagram, right? I want to ask you this: why do you think you compare? Like, why don't you just look at the photo and the story?
I don't know.
You think it has something to do with you, or just the algorithm?
I mean, my algorithm is smart. It just sends me all the cute outfits, and then I'm like, oh, dang, now I got
Yeah.
shop. I don't know if it has anything to do with me. Probably, like I think it's just like I think it's smart to be aware. Like I don't think that
I agree.
I think I know myself well enough to say like I don't really have to understand exactly why I start to compare. I just know this doesn't feel good.
Well, you're human.
And yeah, exactly. I'm human and like people have things I want and
You're
like
human.
that's fine. Like I have no issue with like the feeling of jealousy. That to me is like my body like alerting me to something that I deserve to.
Cara, you're different. So this is what I believe. Everybody holds the capacity for all emotions: jealousy,
Yeah.
envy, anger, mad, crazy. We
Yes.
all have it, right? But I feel like people deny parts of themselves. I don't. I accept all of me.
Yeah.
So if I'm feeling something that's not pleasant, maybe it's jealousy or whatever, I have to figure out why.
Yes, exactly.
So that's your awareness. You speaking
Yeah.
to that, like, and that's not a bad thing.
No, they're
But-
all just like little signals.
exactly. And then you have to then go in, dig a little deeper, and figure out
Mm-hmm.
why. So, like with social media, for example, I don't spend a lot of time like scrolling.
Mm-hmm.
This is just not my thing. I don't even pay attention to like the numbers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But people, I've had like everybody, hey, why aren't you not looking at this and doing this? I'm like, dude, I don't have the time for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I don't want to get sucked into something that takes away from why I'm doing this,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because your focus would shift from why are you doing the
Mm-hmm.
podcast to numbers. No, and then everyone's like, why don't you have this person? Why don't you have that person? That's not why I'm doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to sit here and have a conversation with people that I connect with, and I know are genuinely making a positive impact in the
Right.
world and impacting kids. You're impacting kids live in high school. I wish I had someone like you that's telling me, Christian, you don't have to sit with that person over there to be cool.
Yeah.
Sit by yourself and it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think I agree. And I think that like in terms of, you know, just what you were saying about like what you like about social media and all that, I personally love social media and I love posting and I love sharing, and I'm not like an influencer. I think I have like 1,000 people or, you know, that follow me.
You're
So it's-
influencing. That's a lot of people.
But yeah, like what I care about is that like I'm just sharing my life and my journey, and it's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
When it stops being fun is when I just like start to scroll and like, and I don't look at other people's lives in a way that's like inspiring. I look at other people's lives in a way of just like, I wish my life was like that. You know,
Wow.
like that's when there's like, and I think that's the difference is like, if someone is inspiring me to like do something or change something or try something, that's great. That's healthy. And that's like, you know, just the work of being human. But if it's just like making me feel like a loser or bad about my own life, then I instantly know like that's not a healthy feeling. That's not something that I'm unavailable for that feeling.
Absolutely. I could see that. So, for me, it's the opposite. I don't look at people's suffering like I want, because I know my life is great.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm great.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing is, I know I'm a divine being, and I know we're all different. And I can't look at somebody that has something materialistic and that be the signal for me to want their lives. It's all an illusion. It's a smokescreen, because I can go rent a Lamborghini right now and take a picture.
Right.
And that's supposed to make it feel like I'm successful. No. So it's just, for me, and it took me a long time, because I'm not saying that I've always been this way to get here. You have awareness around it. You already got it figured out.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing else you need to do.
Yeah. No, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I just say, like, I know myself. And
Yeah.
I know what my limits are. And I know what's healthy and what's not. And so
Yeah.
if something is not healthy, and it's like, when we're talking about, like, what's wrong with sitting on the couch for hours watching a show? Nothing, so long as it's healthy for you. So long as, like, you end that feeling more rested, more alive, more ready to go, like ready to do the work that you are here on this earth to do.
I love what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're creating Cara's own personal definitions of how life should be, and that's how it should be.
Yeah.
You're not utilizing anyone else's metric. You're using your own, right? You can sit there and something signals you that, I've been doing this for too long. Let me just kind of find something else to do without judgment.
Yeah.
And not feeling bad.
Yeah.
But that's not, I feel like everyone else wants you to, like, if you're not doing that, you're not worthy of life. No. Yeah. And, it's a lifelong journey. It's not something that you just know. But if you're hyper-focused on you, I think everything else comes easy.
Yeah.
And that's just really my perspective on that.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
But I want you to leave us with a word of wisdom, right? Just, from, if you want to look at it from she said leave
I've been like 20 minutes.
Okay, you could do it from like a counselor's perspective or a human perspective. Just how did you get to this place of just knowing everything always comes back to you? Just, leave us with something that we can take back. It could be practical or not.
I think the obvious reality for me is it's like we were talking about, that what matters most is what's right in front of you, the person you're talking to, the now. That's what matters most. But on a very real level for me, like when I lost my partner, it was sudden. We said goodbye to each other on a Friday afternoon. He was supposed to come over a few hours later after he went out with his friends, and the next thing I knew, I was at the hospital and the social worker was telling me that he was murdered. And that moment told me, like, you don't know if there is something else, like you don't know if there is more. And so all that matters is right now and the love we give. That's all that matters. It matters that, like, I don't hold back on who I am, because if I hold myself in, I'm like a weird, goofy person and I like to be that person. And and that might impact someone in some beautiful way. And if I hold that in because I'm not sure how it'll be accepted in the world, or not sure if people will like that version of me, I don't know how long I have. I don't know, like, how much more life there is. Like, my whole life is like I don't know how to describe it, like just like a big soup pot. It's like all these experiences are adding up. It's not a timeline. It's not like this linear timeline that I'm thinking, like, I'm, going along the line and I should conquer this, do this, accomplish this. It's not that way. It's just like this big soup pot of experiences.
Yeah.
And I'm adding to it and I'm giving, and I'm doing it by being, like, fully and completely myself.
Drop the mic.
I won't drop this one because it's too nice.
I appreciate the insights, man. Like this, you and I can continue talking forever, but I appreciate you taking the time to come and share your perspective. We have a lot of similarities when it comes to how we see the world and view the world. And I wouldn't say my life has always been like that pot soup. It was linear for a long time, right? Do this, get college degree, and boom, 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 have kids, get married. And at 39, I'm 39. I'll be 40 December 26th.
Hey-o.
Yes, I'm literally starting over.
That's exciting.
It is.
It's so exciting.
It is.
And brave
It's
and
freeing.
amazing. Yeah, that's
It's
exciting.
freeing, and it's I'm cooking my soup pot. It's about to get the cooking.
Just add a little experience.
Yeah, just here and there, and like feel free without judgment.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a beautiful journey.
Absolutely.
I'm excited. Thank you for taking the time to come on.
This was fun, Christian. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Till next time. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Full Circle Chat. We hope you enjoy the conversation. Remember, you can catch every episode on YouTube, as well as Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Spotify. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a new episode. And if you enjoyed today's show, be sure to leave us a review. It helps others find the podcast and also join the conversation. For updates and behind the scenes content, be sure to also follow us on Instagram. See you next time, and remember, let's keep that conversation going.